If you're watching this, I dare say you will recognise a Raymarine tiller actuator. This one is in fact made by Autohelm. Autohelm were bought out by Raymarine in the 90s, so this is quite an old one. It's over 20 years old, perhaps over 25 years old, but the design is pretty much unchanged from then until today. Mine actually broke. I said the design is unchanged, but at some point during the 90s or the 00s, they put a bit of plastic in here. This part was turned into a plastic widget into which both half of these screw, and mine broke a year or two ago when I stepped on it. This is not mine. This is a friend's, which I borrowed for this video, and what we have here is a pelagic actuator, which you will see has about the same length. Well, the perspective here makes it look a little bit shorter, but if we move that one to the back, move this one forward, you will see they are about the same. Well, I can tell you, in fact, they're exactly the same. So this is a pelagic actuator. Was supplied by an American company that everybody raves about on Cruisers Forum. They Pelagic make a control head, and I think a bunch of people sailed to Hawaii using these and were really very pleased with them the first year he started making them. But this actuator is also a drop-in replacement for the Raymarine. A Raymarine technician once told me, well, there's not really very much you can do with a 12-volt motor. You just wind it one way, apply the electricity one way to wind it one way, and apply the voltage the other way around to retract it. So that's what we have there. And what we have here is today's delivery from the Wuxi Hongba electrical mechanical equipment company. Now, someone on the YBW forums that put me onto these and said, well, pelagic actuator is just a mechanical actuator that's made by a Chinese company, yada yada yada. And I managed to find them on I think he linked me originally to the Made in China site, which is sort of Chinese wholesaler distributor site. And things come a lot easier once you know what to search for. Wuxi being a city in China, this is when you've got their name and their website, you can Google them and email them, and they will send you a load of actuators made to your specification. And as you can see, this is the first time I've opened them up, but these do indeed look exactly the same as my pelagic, which saw me so well single-handed across Biscay. And these are incredibly cheap. I think I paid less than 100 quid each for them. The only inconvenience is you have to do a group buy of 8 of them. 8 is the minimum order quantity. But I will plug these in and test them tomorrow, and you can see them moving. A difference between my original pelagic and the ones I ordered from Wuxi Hongba is that this one has 5 wires instead of 2, and those additional wires are because this is supplied with a potentiometer in the stern, which measures the how far retracted the arm is, and you can use this, if you're clever, to interface it with a Raymarine Evo, and the resistance will be read back as the tiller angle. So you can get all the sophisticated advanced technologies of your autopilot knowing the rudder position, but you can have this in a tiller pilot, whereas previously it's normally only available if you use Raymarine's parts, if you have a below deck autopilot. So that's quite exciting, really. Anyway, I will test these out tomorrow. These were delivered this morning, and I will test them tomorrow, and I will let you see them moving backwards and forwards. We're looking here at the cockpit of my boat. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you can see a standard Raymarine style tiller pilot post, and on the underside of the tiller, you can see the pin which the actuator hooks over, the tiller pilot actuator. I think anyone with a Raymarine tiller pilot will recognise those as standard parts of the kit. They've been unchanged, I think, for a long time. If we move forward, you can see the control head, which connects to in my boat, a smart pilot below decks. Here you can see I have the my pelagic actuator, and one of the ones from Wuxi Hongba that I arrived the other day, and I thought I'd show you this in operation using the control head. You can see it goes backwards and forwards like that. And this particular one, that's the one I bought from Pelagic myself, has done me very, very well indeed. I sell a couple of thousand miles with it across Biscay and all that, as I've probably said before. So you can see that that fits in there. Just like a standard Raymarine tiller pilot, and I found it very reliable. What I shall do tomorrow now is test the Wuxi Hongba ones, and perhaps show the resistance of the potentiometer changing in response to the movement. I've finished testing the delivery from Wuxi Hongba, and I thought I'd show you one of these working. I've got it wired up with some Wago connectors now, and you can see it's going out and back in again. If I put it on there, it moves faster. I've noticed the Raymarine controller, if you have it autopilot engaged rather than moving in and out on standby mode. In the foreground here, you should be able to see I've got the multimeter connected up. It's sorry about the light, it's quite a bright day, and the light is towards the camera, but hopefully you'll be able to see that it's reading a 5.7 ohms at the moment, 5.7 kilo ohms, excuse me. And if I wind that in, wind that out, it's showing now to 6.5, and now it's dropping down for 3, 2, 1, and about half a kilo ohm there. So that allows the autopilot to receive rudder feedback when it's engaged. Normally this is hard to achieve on a tiller pilot because the official Raymarine actuator rudder feedback transducer, pardon me, requires a quadrant to operate. Here the Wuxi Hongba has got a potentiometer built into the butt of the actuator, and that is the reading you are seeing there. The official Raymarine transducer is effectively just a potentiometer itself, so you just need to wire a couple of resistors on either side of it to make a good to copy it perfectly. Because I'm very lazy, I've recorded these videos over the course of a couple of afternoons over a period of a couple of weeks. So I can't remember exactly what I've told you already. I do apologise for that. I thought I should add, or thought I should make it clear, that when you order these actuators from Wuxi Hongba, they come without the bracket here. It's just the bare drive like that, and with a loose series of wires, two for the brown and blue for the motor itself, and the others are for the potentiometer, provided you buy the potentiometer option. The bracket here, I think you could get that made up very easily from a local fabricator, or I think if you Google actuator bracket, then you will also find some suppliers of UK-based suppliers of robotic suppliers who will be able to supply you with an appropriate bracket, a bracket similar to that one, not quite exactly the same. The pin here is an M10 or M12 bolt, which has been turned down, and you turn it down to about 9mm or so it will fit inside the standard Raymarine bracket, Raymarine hole. And this connector here is a Bugin Buccaneer, which I think used to be quite standard on early model Raymarine tiller pilots, but I think they might have changed it to a newer one since. And that's what I use anyway. There's another company called CN Linko that makes quite nice connectors, waterproof connectors. They're available from 12-volt Planet. So there you go. I think that's all you need to know, and hopefully you find this helpful. Really, the quality of these, I've been so impressed with them from just sailing with them, that I don't really see any need to buy a Raymarine tiller actuator anymore. These are just as good, just as robust, and they're very cheap to replace if they do go wrong.